NSE All-Share Index is currently down 0.7% to 37,386.81 points. Now, the gainers so far are Nigerian Breweries, Peta Glass, FBN Holdings, while the laggard are Cadbury, Academy Press. And I have with me to look more onto what's going on at the market now, Mr. Fakwede. If you're there. Now, let's start off with Cadbury. We saw some profit taken on that stock yesterday. It has also lost about 6% today. Now, this stock also returned over 54% to investors over the space of 2 weeks. Can you talk us through the kind of volatility we are seeing with these stocks lately, especially today?
Well, for today, we've seen quite some volume, but not as much as what we saw yesterday. And for the stock having gained that much in so short a time, what we are seeing presently is quite expected and is nothing out of place at all. And for what we see, there is likely to be a measure of stability today. We may not see an outright 9.8% or 10% loss as we saw yesterday. But today, I see a situation whereby even if it's going to lose at all, we may see a loss less than 5% by the time the market closes. So the volatility is very much there. And I think it's really hard that way because of the fact that on each day, a stock price can go as high or as low as 10%. And that 10% band is quite responsible for what we have seen so much about Cadbury. And I think by the time we are through with trading today, when we resume on Thursday, we are likely to see the stock on the gaining list again. And for what I perceive, I believe strongly that the price of about 64 naira that the stock got to will definitely maybe eventually the stock is going to go much more higher than that. So what we are seeing now is just a market interplay that is not that is very common to every other stock.
Oh, well, staying with the consumer space, I would like to get your thoughts on Dangote Sugar. Now, this is a highly capitalized stock, which was also contributed to the gains on the NSE index, yesterday. Now, how is that stock performing right now?
You mean Dangote Cement or
Dangote Sugar?
Well, for now, it's trading very flat. But in terms of volume, it's quite doing some volume. And I think for what has been seen so far, the recent results that we got, the Q1 result is quite appealing. And it's making investors to think twice and say, okay, this is the kind of store that I can put my money into. Because if you look back the years when that store was listed, it was listed at 18 naira. And the potential that was in that stock then is still very much available now. So for what we are seeing now, the price of about 10 naira 51 kobo is still very much appealing to investors. And I think most likely we may see the price going up a little today.
All right, away from the consumer space, now financial stocks dominated the gainers table yesterday. NSE Banking Index rose about 0.3%. And in the same vein, the likes of Zenith, Unity Bank, and UBA are trading in huge volumes right now. I mean, what reasons, do we have for what's happening at the moment? What's your take on this financial sector?
Well, I think on any day, the financial services sector are still those sectors that have come a long way, and investors have their belief in. And it's always driven, it has always been the sector that drives volume in the market, and also it goes a long way to determine the performance of the index on day-to-day basis. And for today, yesterday we saw UBA and the likes going up, and also trading high volume. But for today, we are going to see a slight shift going to First Bank. First Bank may probably be among some of the best gainers for the financial services sector today. And I think with the results that we have seen, the auditor reports of those companies and the Q1 results, I think what we are seeing presently is quite giving, and it's quite supported by good fundamentals. So this is still a good toast for investors to really take a close look at.